Dr. Orient, I know there's a lot of discussion right now that the only cure for this COVID-19 is going to be some type of vaccine, but then added to that is the discussion that that vaccine may be 12 to 18 months away. Now, my question is this. Is that a realistic estimate, 12 to 18 months, or could a vaccine or some other type of cure outside what we're just now talking about, could that be available sooner?
About the vaccine available in 12 to 18 months, which is really too late to stave off the economic collapse. This is speculative, and availability will depend on how well it's tested, whether we really do good safety testing or not. There is always risk with vaccines. It is, I believe it was reported that some vaccines, including dengue and maybe a potential SARS vaccine, actually worsen the situation for people who have already been exposed to the illness. They may get very sick and die. And so it seemed that if you're going to vaccinate people, you really ought to find out whether they're immune first, whether they need it or not, and whether they're more likely to suffer an adverse reaction. But instead of waiting 12 to 18 months, we have treatments now, including antimalarials and vitamin C. They're available. They're cheap. They may be hard to get, but we're ramping up the production of the antimalarials. Unfortunately, we've become dependent on China for our supply of vitamin C, but we still have some. And they shipped 50 tons of it to Wuhan, China for some reason or other. So I think we need to allow doctors to use their best judgment now to try to save people who are already sick and prevent people from getting very sick. And with not having governors standing in the way and threatening their licenses or threatening the pharmacist's license if they fill a prescription, if doctors are doing their best, even though we don't have specific evidence for its effectiveness, we have a lot of basic science that suggests it will be effective, and some very favorable studies from outside the United States, and then the experience of a doctor in Upper New York State who has been treating outpatients with this virus and having very few people end up in the hospital.